leave the world behind. Why does everybody hate each other? Ever since the onset of AI, deepfakes, and the sheer quantity of data that we receive in our day-to-day lives, a serious threat has emerged where everybody has their own biases. Everybody disagrees with each other, nothing gets done, and even hate starts to brew because we all have different worldviews that clash with one another. Confirmation bias is on a loop in our algorithms. AI is getting so good that we can't even tell what's really going on in our world. Where do we start to fix this? There's always some evidence to point to your conclusion, and it's not very difficult to get ChatGPT to agree with you. So, where do we start? This is the shared reality crisis. The breakdown of a common understanding of facts and values leading to fragmented versions of reality. How do we avoid polarization without collapsing back into groupthink, though? As the water gets deeper, the answer may not be to drain it, but to learn how to swim in it. As a people, we are up against these mega corporations, people that make a profit from keeping us in these addictive loops that we see every day. As long as profit incentives exist, these will remain. And even if we could put up a legitimate fight about them, there isn't really any way to stop them. It will inevitably resurface once again. What we can do is what is best to ourselves. We can bring awareness to these issues and use that awareness to move towards the other direction as a people. The consequence of this shared reality breakdown is that we now live in a fragmented society. Nobody can agree on what used to be basic truths. Progress slows as people and institutions can't make decisive decisions. Compromise falls apart. It all goes to shit. The incoherence leads to mental exhaustion, relationships break down, and the day-to-day world becomes more confusing than ever before. This here is a societal collapse scale by Chase Hughes, showing the different levels of which this phenomenon is occurring. We seem to be at a level where virtual preference reigns supreme, and altered perception is on the way, if not already here. If this crisis deepens and this continues, we may see ourselves at a simulated existence. This is something that requires action and response. So how do we do this? As we know from previous vids, level 7 in the Aqua model is the first level that can see these various other perspectives aside from itself, move around in them and embody them. And beyond that, it starts to integrate them. For the first time out of the previous levels, it sees how different people differ, agree, what shapes these belief systems, why they believe what they do, and piece apart where certain truths are more applicable than others. We are all subjected to these loops in the modern world, but some fall prey to it more than others. The emergence of higher levels is the answer to the shared reality crisis. People at this level can better piece apart their own biases, the things that make them tick, see how they construct their reality, what's going on behind the scenes, and rather than outright accept or dismiss an opinion, we can move toward what appears to be true with the complexity that this level provides. Imagine a group of these people who can take this attitude out into their world and provide the missing pieces where they exist. I am building Aleph to be such an entity. One that can operate at a high level to integrate various institutions and individuals and provide the necessary missing pieces as they exist. Based on coherence, we can move in the direction that we choose. It's no longer based on absolute truth, but the synthesis of those who desire to reason. That is how we go above and beyond without losing the value of the previous levels. At these higher levels, we can see what's going more beyond simple narratives, and the truth is that we need more people like us. The answer isn't to just force people to level up either. So what can we timelessly do that may bring the most good? The answer is balance, equilibrium. As the world goes in one direction, we need to leave the world behind. The purpose of this channel isn't to make anyone change their minds, to make anyone do or think anything. We just want to ensure that no decisions that are made are permanent, make sure that change is always possible, and push toward that which we believe to be truth from our deepest understanding of it. If we change our minds along the way, then all the better. We can't necessarily force people to change their beliefs or attitudes. The best thing that we can do is find those who are of a similar mind, and not just once again to confirm our biases, but to be able to argue and reason in a more mature way, one that takes the situation for what it is and can go beyond emotion towards reason. A famous example of this is Plato's allegory of the cave. The story goes that this group of prisoners who are kept in a cave, they have been there their whole life. They see shadows cast on a wall from the outside light. They think that these shadows are true reality. One of them escapes the cave and sees this world, the source of the shadows, sees the truth. When he returns to tell the others, they reject him, preferring and believing in the illusion over his words. In the same way, we're not trying to make people step out of the cave, no, but rather those who do step out and see the cave for what it is. We find those on our side and move them towards the direction that we want to see this world. Only when we come together and add up in numbers, we meaningfully shift the vibe away from this collective slop. I mean, that's what it is, and towards genuinely bettering ourselves, others, and humanity. With cohesion and meaning behind our action, even if 1% of any population can do this, as studies show, they meaningfully shift the direction towards a different one. This is what Aleph is for. Aleph is a response to the world and the start of a new one. In the next video, I will go into more depth of how I intend to do this. If you guys want to see that, make sure you subscribe, like the video, and most importantly, join the Discord. That is the most important thing you can do on this channel, because while other people are all talk, I want to be as much action as possible. Link will be in the description.